Hey there! It's Trek Talk. It's 4 p.m. We're live on twitch.tv/callingupjustice. And we are live on YouTube uh, on Claudia Alick Calling Up Justice. And I'm going right to us. No, that's wrong. This is us. I got it. This is us. It's such a manipulative show, but that's not what we're here to talk about. We're here to talk about Star Trek Section 31, which was a movie that was made.
It was made
with
money.
It was made with money, has actors,
outfits,
Star Trek property,
sets.
It has Star Trek characters.
Deserts.
Star Trek aliens. It had spaceships and some fighting. It was mostly hand-to-hand combat, but there was fighting.
Okay. Now, first off, so when I heard that they made a Section 31, well, when I heard that Section 31 had come out, because I don't know what was going on with me, but I apparently wasn't paying attention to like when movies come out. So I got a text message from Claudia that was like, "Oh damn, it came out." So I did a bunch of pre-research. So I want to tell you what Section 31 is.
Oh, okay.
Just really quick.
Backstory.
Yeah,
Okay.
so
Excellent.
and I just want to put it out there really quick. This would have been really great in the movie. So Section 31 is an organization that's purpose is to protect the security interests of the United Earth and then later the United Federation of Planets. During the mid 23rd century, it was considered a critical division of Starfleet intelligence. By the 24th century, it was believed to be like a rogue organization and not part of Starfleet, but kind of still. The organization was sanctioned by the original Starfleet Charter, Article 14, Section 31, which allowed for extraordinary measures to be taken in extreme threat. Section 31 is also somewhat comparable to the Romulan Tal Shiar or the Cardassian Obsidian Order, except, unlike the latter two, it supposedly operated on its own without Starfleet's knowledge or consent. But, I mean, come on. Yeah. In the 2250s, it's more rumored than anything, but is recognized by the Black Badge, and by the 2370s, Section 31's very existence is buried so deep that only a handful of people are actually aware of its existence, which we saw in Deep Space Nine. But Section 31 started out more like an Earth spy organization, and then was just adopted into the rest. But that didn't take me super long. I mean, they could have done like a Star Wars word roll that just would have told us what it was.
Yeah, like they gave us like that weird thing where they were like all the backstory for Georgiou, but they didn't tell us what Section 31 was at all.
They just had some weird lady.
We're Section 31.
The false sense of urgency. You have 24 hours.
Thanks, Jamie Lee Curtis. What the hell? I mean, I get that they're friends, but stop that. Cut it out.
Did not enjoy it.
That wasn't for anybody.
Sometimes I like it when a famous person is on Star Trek because I know they just really wanted to be on Star Trek.
Mm-hmm.
Like Whoopi Goldberg. But Whoopi committed. Whoopi was Guinan, and that was real.
Mm-hmm.
You know what he did? What's his name? Who later on went to make his own TV show, the Quest show, but he was on Enterprise where he was just like, I'm here and I'm on this episode. You know who I'm talking about? The guy who does the Family Guy.
Who sings the songs?
Yeah,
Seth
that guy.
MacFarlane. I would just wanted to be silly.
Yes.
He sings the songs.
Yeah, like I remember he was on the episode, and I was like, "Look at Seth MacFarlane. I'm no longer watching Star Trek. I'm watching Hollywood. This kind of sucks." And that's what happened when I saw Jamie Lee Curtis. I was like, "Oh, I don't like that Zionist lady. Dang, I'm disappointed." And I'm reminded of the horrific things that she said in the past about, or not said about Palestinian children. And I didn't enjoy it. It's weird because I did not dislike her in that movie she did, The Everywhere All at Once. I didn't mind her in that, but I
So
don't like her.
so here is the thing. I don't know, and this is a question. I'd love to hear what you all think in the chat. Let's say you're in a relationship with someone and you've been in a relationship with them for like a pretty long time. They know you. They should know you by this time. And they go out to go get you a present. And that present is absolutely nothing that you wanted. But they're like, "You like this though. You like this." And you're like, "No. I mean, I kind of do, but this isn't what I wanted for my birthday." Like, "Oh, yeah, I saw those pots and pans, but those were more like, I might buy myself those later, not for my birthday." But I felt like a lot of this movie was like just extraneous stuff that they thought we would like because we're little piggy nerds that will just eat up whatever they give us.
I
And
think it
mm,
was a bunch of men who don't like women, and so they don't know how to handle a strong woman character without who has no connection to men whatsoever. Like she
yeah,
has no connection to men whatsoever, and they can't conceive of that. It's like a podcast bro made a Star Trek movie.
I'm so rude. I was making that face because I was like, "Let me look up who the writer was," and I did this.
are we
What?
looking
Like,
at Bo Young Kim and Erica Lippold and the
oh
screenplay
no,
by Craig Sweeney?
I was
Craig,
just looking. What I'm looking at, it says it was directed by Ola Tunde,
Uh
and I
huh.
think it was directed gorgeously. But it says
Absolutely.
by Craig Sweeney. That's the only person it says was the. Were there other writers on it?
The story by Bo Yeon Kim and Erica Leopold,
Oh, okay.
and the screenplay is by Craig Sweeney. Which I'm gonna say that a lot of this is story, but also a lot of this is the screenplay as well. The
Oh,
yeah.
no,
yeah.
but um, I think we should let's start with some of these pictures because I have some pictures up and I put up a bunch of them. So we
I
start
will
this
say,
movie out with like a cute little young Giorgio, and I liked cute little baby Empress. I mean,
yeah.
it was useless and boring, but like I didn't care.
Start a few moments before because I wanna do the exercise of reading some of these tweets I made if that's okay.
Yeah. So
Um,
I was going so I have my pictures chronological.
my note is before the film starts. That's why I wanted to give
Okay,
it.
so then you go.
So I said I love Olatunde Osunsanwe's direction. Even before the film has begun, there's this intriguing and atmospheric musical tone playing, don don don, and then there's the Star Trek logo, but it's mirrored. And then like
I
I
like
got so
that.
excited because I was like, oh, is this entire movie gonna be in the mirror universe? Because I remember the Enterprise mirror universe as being cool. And then there's a black screen that's got a quote, and it's Aeschylus, and it says, "Fate, who makes the sword, does the forging and advance." What does that mean? Like, I does that mean something? Do you get it? Are you like, oh no, obviously, like fate?
Again, they're like, "Oh my god, it has a quote with a sword in it." We were scouring the internet and we needed something. I just
Right.
but first, I'll also say this director, I distinctly remember the episodes of
Oh,
Discovery that they've done, and really thought that they were well done as far as direction,
mm-hmm.
camera. I didn't feel dizzy because it's like sometimes people will just do like da da da, and thank God we're doing away with J.J. Abrams' little light beam things. Um, please leave that in the past.
We don't need flares.
No, no flares. So it was beautifully shot. The colors were great. there was an attention to the skin tones of people in certain lighting that I
Everyone looks
really,
so
really
good.
well lit. Come on.
Yes.
That was, things were popping even when people were sitting in shadow. I was like, shout out to the lighting crew,
Now,
and all of these people who put that together. So
It
I don't want to let
was it was such a well-made movie.
it was
It was
beautiful.
so beautiful, well acted, well directed. But the story isn't good. The screenplay
okay.
isn't
All
good.
right.
And
Let me give more notes because
okay.
again, I was live tweeting while I was watching it, and apparently I was like live tweeting every second. So I'm like, oh, before we see this picture, we see the words "the Terran Empire" in like those kind of lost block letters that look like they're floating over the area, and I'm like, oh no. And you can see them mirrored in the water, which is kind of hot, right? Like that's a hot design choice. I was like, look, I see what you're doing. That's kind of cute. But also, if they're telling me where we are, that's them also letting me know they're going to take us lots of places. So I'm like, oh no, you only do sexy looking place titles for films where the characters go a bunch of places. Is this film going to be a snipe hunt? I'm immediately concerned. And then we see this sword being forged, and it reminds me of Data's dream sequence in the Next Generation. And, like I'm like the way it feels like they staged it to evoke that idea, but it has nothing to do with what's going on, and it doesn't actually connect at all. But the planet is very dusty and reminds me of Star Wars. Please continue.
Oh, it also reminded me a lot of Star Wars. I was like, "Oh, are we still doing this?" Okay.
Yeah.
Uh so we
It's like
have
Star Wars meets Dune.
so this the whole first part is references a very 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 short and kind of important but mostly inconsequential conversation that Philippa Georgiou had with Michael Burnham and her good friend Carl, also known as the Guardian of Forever. So she had this conversation. She was like, "Oh yeah, like I have learned because I did this thing a long time ago and I
Yeah,
betrayed a very good friend of mine, someone I loved named San. And it was sad and I finally feel like healed from it is the thing.
yeah,
She had
yeah.
finally felt healed from because it was her betrayal. And and that's what's really interesting is that even sometimes the betrayer has to heal from the harm that they do. Because when you
Yeah.
do harm, you receive harm. Like it hurts you to hurt others. Every time that Philippa Giorgio hurts a person, it hurts her. That was the whole journey on Discovery. And then they took that and then they did this little beginny thing and she put her sword on Sand's face and like it was like I'm the princess of I'm Shira, kind of Shira, right? With the gold cloak and the sword,
I
Shira.
do gotta say, the Terran Empire does have that drip. It does love to have like it was the
Yeah.
clothes. They're always showing like some midriff. There was a serious lack of midriff actually in these Terran outfits, and I actually want to complain about that.
Yeah,
We
there's
need more.
no skin.
Yeah,
We
like
need crop
in
tops.
TOS.
We need cutouts because they were all about
Well,
we're sexy dictators. You
yes,
know,
horny dictators. Like there's something different about being sexy and horny. They were horny. Like they were
they
just
were
like
horny. They were, stab you like really
like
stab
a
you. You know?
like a flirt. Yeah, it's weird. Okay,
Yes.
so Terran Empire. I want you to explain this to me. Y'all watched the movie. I watched the movie one and a half times, and I still don't totally understand this. So the Terran Empire has some sort of Hunger Games to install their rulers, where the children are supposed to fight against each other.
Apparently,
To go home,
Apparently,
and then like the assignment is, if you survive this, not getting killed by the other children, all you got to do is go home. Spoiler alert for Section 31. All you got to do is go home, off your family, easy peasy. But it turns out if you don't off your family, they're just going to burn down the entire town. So, like,
they're
there's
gonna
no
go
choice,
anyway.
right?
Yeah.
Right. So, like, this is my question. I feel like this choice of making her a child that was forced into this violence makes her so less interesting. It's not like she was a person who made slow choices and like made steps into like becoming the monster she is. It was like, oh, she was a child and she made a choice, and that's what she did. And then is that supposed to make her absolvable for the mass murder and genocide she's done?
It belittles the choices that she made.
I agree.
She
I
was she was a mass murderer. She that's a part of her story. And it wasn't because she had a tough life. Every single person that is a part of the Terran Empire has had a very difficult life. Also kind of
Yeah,
sexy at the same time. So like
They're poor and sexy at the
poor
same
and
time.
sexy.
double as sexy
Just
as
like
tar.
me.
It's called a midriff. The Giorgio. So Giorgio is a complicated character because in the Terran Empire, she's a genocidal leader, but that was the societal norm. Being that way was not. Although actually, it wasn't really the societal norm because we find out there's like an entire like movement against them that is resisting them.
It
In our, oh, go ahead.
it was just it was if you want to be at the top, then that's what you have to be. That's
Okay.
what she was. And she was a high achiever. In any
But isn't
universe,
that
Philippa
true to
Giorgio
life of
is.
what we see? Like, I always felt that that was just a mirror of what it meant to be like upper class politics, hint, hint, what we're seeing right now. That, you have to buy in to mass violence in order
Yeah.
to reach the highest levels. This is why
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Gaston Nair says, like, all presidents are psychopaths. You have
Woo!
to be
Yeah.
okay with, pushing that button multiple times, and putting mass death out there. So it just felt like a great analogy that, it wasn't some Hunger Games things. She wanted power. In order to get that, she made the decisions in order to get to the top,
Yeah.
and undermines all of that. Like, you're just like a kid who wins Hunger Games and now, ta-da! I have the power. That's not how
And
things
now
went
she's
in other
Shira.
movies.
And like,
Yeah,
what here's the thing: when she came back to our universe, she was more pro-social, but it always felt like that was only because of personal relationship and necessity, and that it was only in those two episodes where she has a very special "I'm going back in time" and the Guardian Forever is making me like have an adventure that's making me like have a deep, deep like emotional experience where she comes back and she feels like she's been funded like she's learned something that's fundamental and different and important. I liked that.
A part.
Oh,
Oh,
also,
that was weird.
audience,
That
we
was my
get
phone.
in the books mirror Hoshi Sato because you remember on
Oh, so
Enterprise
good.
it's Hoshi Sato that takes over, which is freaking awesome. It's so fucking awesome. And low key, I had actually hoped that like she was related to Hoshi Sato somehow, but they got rid of that head canon.
Well, no,
Star Trek.
they don't,
Fuck. Um,
that's not
but
usually how they do it. They usually do it through murder.
so here's the thing: she remained emperor for hundreds of years by cloning herself in the books. I don't think that's real canon, though.
That's beta canon. It's not our prime
Yeah.
canon. But um in my head canon before they did this to us, Philippa Giorgio was a cutthroat and she assassinated her way to the throne. She all but said it during Discovery
yeah,
that
that's
she
what I said.
assassinated her way up to the throne.
Yeah,
Not that she fought a bunch of kids her own age and was honored by being the last one standing. That's
Doesn't make any
luck.
sense.
That's
yeah,
luck.
that's luck. And also, she describes how she was clever. She knew how to kind of weasel her way in and knew who to pick off at what time and get people on her side. Like that, that takes time.
Yes.
And that
Well,
kind
and
of
she was
person
an
didn't have
adult.
loving parents. And that kind of person didn't have loving parents. I'm just saying.
Ah,
It
you're
makes
right.
no sense for her to have these loving, caring, poor parents that are like, "We're giving you to the empire." La 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 la.
Oh,
It was really fancy, gross looking foreignism. and because she's just like, because they're like, oh, because that's how it was. It was like she's in this poor village, and the empire is pulling this nothing girl out of this poor village to make her into the empress, and that was never her. She was always an incredibly powerful person who clawed her way to the top, who might have been the one to stab Hoshi Sato.
You see, like that's what I wanted to see. I wanted
Yeah.
to see, because the actress is
Like,
still alive who played Hoshisato, so she could have been an old emperor. They
she's
could have
not
done.
even old, the actress.
Well, here's the thing. She's not old, but like she's aged enough that like it would have been interesting and cool to
Yeah.
see her like the established emperor being all evil, and like it would have been interesting to see a like I okay. Anyway, let me give you more of my friggin' notes here, and then because I'm taking too
Okay.
long. Um, this is okay. Wait. A rule of good storytelling is show don't tell. But the first 9 minutes of this film are telling me that at one moment, this one moment in Philippa Giorgio's life defines her, and then sets up some guy named Sun that's supposed to be significant. And my genre savvy brain does not like the introduction of this new love interest. It's all shot very beautifully, but it does not make me want to watch more of the film or revisit Discovery. And then we end up watching another setup where Jamie Lee Curtis has this voiceover, and then she's telling us all about Philippa Georgiou coming from the mirror universe and being. It's like
She's bad, guys. She's a bad bitch. Look out
Bad.
for her. She's bad.
He's bad.
Yeah,
Shouldn't they already know this already?
yes, that's
Nonsense.
the thing. Like, who is this for? So, like, they have a 10 minute, well, they have a 9 minute setup that's meant to help us understand Terran universe. Giorgio did horrible, evil shit, but we're supposed to forgive her. Then, and also, there's this guy named Sun, but don't even think about him. Then we hear Jamie Lee Curtis's voice, and I hate that. And she's like, "Hey, this person's bad, and you need to find her." And the voiceover sounds like it's from a video game. Like I feel like they had like 9 ideas for what this could be, and one of them was a Section 31 video game. And this would have made a great video game.
Hey
That
there,
would have been.
gumshoes. Time. Are you ready to find Philippa Giorgio?
Where in the world is Philippa
Philippa
Georgia?
Giorgio.
Yes.
Thanks, Chief.
I just know that that 1 minute of the film ruined the movie for me because it let me know none of the dumb headcanon that I'd come up with was going to manifest.
No.
May I
Not at all.
spit?
Not at all. This was
Bad
like
idea.
beyond, and like the false sense of urgency. Like, I'm so sorry. I don't like this actress at all. I refuse to even say her name. That's how much I don't like her anymore. You were great in Scream. That's it. Okay? That was a long time ago in the past. But it just sounded so fake. Like this fake urgency. I was like, budget, what are we doing? Like, this looks like low key heist film. I was like, I think I texted. I was like, is this a heist film?
And I couldn't
Like,
say anything because I was like,
and I love heists in Star Trek.
Ocean's
They're
31.
usually Ocean's 31. Yeah, I love that. They're usually really fun. This did not feel fun from jump.
Well, here's the thing, a heist movie is fun when you're like seeing characters you're familiar with like do shenanigans and hijinks and get one over on the man, but it's a Section 31 film. Like these are two radically different concepts that they're like we don't really want to do a Section 30. Well, oh Maya, you go ahead. I
I
still
got a
feel like
really big thing, and that is Section 31 is the man. People need to
Yeah.
stop thinking it's not that they are outside. Section 31 is
that part,
the
you're right,
most,
you're right.
it is the most Starfleet, the most
Yeah,
Starfleet that you can get. This movie doesn't make sense because it
not
makes Section
outside
31 ragtag. They're
outlaw.
not ragtag.
They're a ragtag group of
No,
outlaws.
they're not. They are the most
Oh,
Starfleet of Starfleet. Like,
You have 24 hours to complete this mission. What in the Mission Impossible with no Tom Cruise are you doing?
yeah,
so here are my questions. And this is what I wanted the movie to be. If traveling between universes allows you to travel through time, what if Philippa Georgiou was the founder of Section 31? And she has an
That's what
argument
I
with an old retired archer, and the film explores the, utopia Star Trek offers us, and then the compromised vision that we see in Deep Space Nine or Picard. What do you think?
That's what I was telling Grant. I was like, if it's for me, she goes into the mirrorverse or whatever. She's the one who found Section 31 because that's her jam, right?
Good.
So
To do shenanigans, intrigue,
I love
stabby
the
stabby and pew
I
pews.
love the idea, but technically speaking, Section 31 existed. Well, no, technically it wasn't Section 31.
That
Never
was
mind. It would
it was
work.
like it was clandestine shit that hadn't been completely formalized and named. I'm
Mm-hmm.
not
Mm-hmm.
saying the head canon, but what if something else? What if maybe she arrived in the Prime universe, but she oversees this time the end of Section 31. So like this is like towards the close of Picard maybe, and because Section 31 did really horrible immoral like Section 31 did a genocide or tried to do a genocide on the changelings or whatever in Deep
They've
Space
done a
Nine.
lot of genocides. Section
They've
31
done a
has
lot.
has done a lot of genocides.
Yes. Which
Shh.
is her jam.
But the whole movie is about her stopping a genocide, and that is literally what Section 31 does. Is controlled
Yeah.
genocidal behavior.
And they don't stop the violence and interrupt it, they produce it strategically.
Yeah.
Oh,
They
okay.
guide
So
it.
wait. I have one more. I have one more. So like it could have been that like she's like at the end and she's closing up and it's like all about like how altruism and ethics are actually necessary and it's important that the Starfleet values are good actually and she learns that she's been wrong always. But what if maybe we've been teased about this time war and that included the Travelers and the Guardian of Forever. So what if Section 31 had gotten caught up in those time travel shenanigans that ended up with the Q disappearing forever? Like, what if Philippa Georgiou was responsible for the Q disappearing forever, and then it was Philippa Georgiou and Wesley Crusher having adventures?
That's really interesting. I it's a lot of nonsense, but it's a really interesting. I have an idea that I just came up with. And what if Philippa Georgiou starts Section 31 because more than anyone in the Prime Universe, she is there to protect the mission. And
Ooh.
maybe she's protecting the mission for Michael. Maybe like maybe there's because she's got to protect the mission. That's what Section 31 is for. Is ultimately to protect the mission, which is and the mission is the United Federation of Planets and its continuing existence. And like again, none of this Section 31 is a military spy
Yes,
organization.
they are not a ragtag group of independent people doing
No.
shenanigans.
They are strategic and organized. This would also fit into Voyager's timeline and why Janeway has that file. Because Janeway could end up disrupting Giorgio's plans because she's constantly going in to the timeline and just fucking things up. And Giorgio was like, my kid, my baby, Burnham, right?
The
Because
baby
Yes.
Burnham.
she, she's never going to stop being a mom to Burnham, ever, right?
Agreed.
So it's not just
Agreed.
protect the mission, but the future is her kid. And I
Yes.
can't have you, lady, constantly coming in and fucking up my shit, right? Because you might screw it up for my kid way in the future.
Maybe she's part of, maybe she's another arm of the Temporal Cold War and the end of the Temporal Cold
Oh,
War.
yes.
That would connect her. That would connect her
But what if
to
COVID?
Kovich,
Yeah, but what
and
if COVID? Oh,
that's maybe that's why Kovich is like, we got you gotta go, you gotta
yeah.
go.
And the actor who played so like Kovic is supposedly that one character from
Daniels,
Enterprise, Daniels.
Lieutenant Daniels.
The actor who played Lieutenant Daniels is available for work. Like you could it would be so cool. I just why didn't they talk to us and call us? All right, so here's my last complaint. I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna stop. I still have us like logged into like the first 15 minutes, and
Mm-hmm.
I know there was more movie. Um, But there was a third framing device where, like, we get the first 10 minutes of backstory, flashback. Now we're into the story, but no, we're not. It's actually a voiceover telling you everything with cartoons and da. Now we're into the story. So she's walking through the club and she's sexy. And we're seeing lots of cool club people who are obviously all characters that we're going to want to do. She's wearing the cutest outfits. It's amazing.
Oh, she's
Um,
gorgeous.
and then when she's talking to this very fine black man, who I feel like they wanted to cast Common, and so they cast this black man.
Is he common? Is he common that we have at home?
He's budget
We
comedy.
have common at home.
Here's the
He's
thing.
cuff.
I just felt like he was giving me the charisma, he was giving me the acting, he's very handsome. I needed him to be a little taller. I needed him to
Yeah,
be just
that's why
a
he's
bit
the
buffer.
common that he's common. He's the common that you have at home. There's nothing wrong with the stuff that you have in your house. Otherwise, it wouldn't be in your house.
Uncommon is what the audience
Yeah,
says.
he's uncommon. Okay,
Um
so like for a split second, I was like, "Is that?" Oh no!
no. Yeah.
And I
So
almost got excited. I was like,
but she's like they're doing a thing, and I'm like, oh, what's gonna happen next? And she's just like, I know everything that's going on, and now I'm going to do exposition. And like she's Michelle Yeoh, so the exposition is super sexy and fun, but it's effing exposition where they're like, this character and trait about this character name trait, character race trait, character race trait. And then she's like, and now we're going to do formula for movie, and he's like, yeah, I guess so.
It's
every
budget
single
Guy Ritchie.
character.
That's what it was.
Yeah,
It was
Budget Guy Ritchie. You know, every Guy Ritchie film is the same, right? And then you have the little kind of
gotta get the
exposition
thing.
in the beginning, and then there's someone who's going to talk really fast, and then you're going to boom, 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 boom to each one of these kind of characters that sets up the story. And then we're like, I guess we're going along this ride.
And we're
You know,
gonna fridge at least two of them.
but
right.
MacGuffins
Um,
are very Star Trek, and chasing MacGuffins is very Star Trek.
yes, but they're supposed to be more fun. It okay. So Star Trek is about the journey. Star Trek is about the journey because that's what a trek is a journey. So Star Trek is always about the journey. It's never about the prize. It's never about the device. The device never should matter. It should always be kind of a MacGuffin, you know? And so, like, for us to immediately have the device in hand and then not have the device and then be like, oh, we got to go get the device,
Uh,
I was like, oh,
so, also, flashback to character significant to person. Oh my God! In the first 20 minutes, we've been interrupted by badass who's mysterious. I wonder who that could be. I wonder.
Who is that? And why do we have this weird Russian sex doll trope character?
Oh wait,
Yeah,
Deltons?
right.
wait. Is that a Russian sex doll trope? I don't feel like that's
No,
accurate.
Deltons were they're the pre betazoids. They're supposed to be
Yeah.
aliens that Roddenberry made Deltons to be like psychic and horny.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I was gonna say,
weird.
Roddenberry was a
18
dirty old man, and he often would put characters in where, like, mostly their character trait was that they were very sexy, and dudes would be like, it would be hard for the dude to not be attracted to them, and like that's the plot.
Right. It's
Yeah,
the
Deanna
girl in
Troy
the
was supposed to be like her, but also have three boobs. I'm
Yeah.
not joking.
like, she's just a throwaway character. Instantly, you see this, and you're like, you have no skill set whatsoever, other than like
I
projecting sexy thoughts into people.
I
That's
can
it.
make people be attracted to me, and not just from my obviously sexy body.
And here's the thing, I was kind of excited that they had a Delton as a part of the team. I
Me
was like,
too.
this is so fun because the Delton character was not used well in the original Star Trek
And
movie.
yeah. So
I
this
don't
was
like how
this was
things went down for
wonderful.
her.
Still
So I
not
thought
used
this was
well.
going to be an opportunity for her to have character growth and to like have like, and yeah,
That is
Like,
not what
like
happened.
waits to be shot. Like, girl, what are you doing?
I was bummed out.
You know, like the power of my breasts compel you.
Like, what do you? Beam
Um,
out of there. You have a
like, and then she's
ship.
just like she's just waiting, like,
Wow.
and then it's like, oh, it's like you still have time before you combust, and you just did nothing, and everyone's like,
I
oh my
They're like,
goodness.
oh, Melly, we really
yeah.
liked her so
Why didn't
much.
why didn't her sexy powers work?
She
What
didn't
happened?
use them. Her
Wait,
powers were not. I don't think her powers were part of the plan of the
oh my
high.
god. For
Like, what
crying
are
out
you here
loud.
She
for?
should have
Character
stayed
flaw.
on the ship.
Just
Okay. All
something.
right.
There was
Even
no
that outfit
purpose
is
for that.
bad.
Amen. There, but I mean, well, yeah, no, I don't love it. I don't love it. And like so here, there's her and Quasi, which I like Quasi's name because Quasi sounds like quasi, and then also it's here's a funny thing, it kind of makes me think of an African name,
Yeah.
Okay.
so I'm like Quasi and Quasi.
What did you think of him as a character? Did you like him? Oh, I saw you just shake your head, girl. Oh, all right. Give me your opinions. Give me your opinions on the changeling.
Well, guys, it's a black nerd. It's the same one. It's the same one. They
He's
they
played by a different actor. This is not the same actor we
he's
saw on The
he's
Flash play a black nerd.
fair enough, but
And
he's played two other black nerds that I can that
that actor does get cast
Sam
as a black.
Richardson plays black nerds, and here's the thing, he's great at it. It's awesome, but
Oh, wait.
again, it's like they had the block, and then they had the blurred, and it's like, look, guys, we have both sides of the black man beingness scale. The
DEI.
yeah,
That's what it is.
and
But like, why do you have an overthinker, anxious person in Section 31 people should be like on it. Like, there's a difference between I'm analytical and I have to kind of think through these things. Like, even that whole banter, is it God's end or God's send? And I was like, this joke died instantly, and you
Well, it
kept
was.
it.
Yeah, you're right. It was funny the first time they told it, and then they told it two
and
more
then,
times.
yeah, and then it hurt my
I,
feelings.
It was just like,
I didn't get it.
stop,
Or-
just stop.
Do you
But also, they had characters who were written to be annoying, and that is dangerous when you write characters to be annoying. Ooh, Maya, go, go, go.
Star Trek Deep Space Nine? I can't remember the name of the episode, so maybe you could look it up for me.
Yeah.
But we're talking about wacky, extreme characters who are genius, brilliant people who are being kept out of public eye because they're all augments. Because they're all augments. And
Julian Bashir
and
his
Julian
friend-
Bashir and his pals. It's Bashir and friends. This movie was like Bashir and friends, but Section 31 might have
Probably.
augments in it. They might
Right.
have augments, but also all of Section 31 should be acting like Rachel Garrett is at the beginning of the whole thing. For the entire
Agreed.
thing. They should all be Rachel Garrett's.
But even if you had the weird augments or whatever, there would be missions that you would want them to be on, right? But they wouldn't be weird, out of place characters, right? Which is what these folk feel like. They would have purpose and meaning and know what their task was. They would have a certain level of agency. This character just seems like, with no sense of like.
I'm afraid of powerful women.
Like, what the heck is wrong with you?
So I'm thinking of the team on Lower Decks, on Fissure Quest. So this was on the latest season of Lower Decks, season 5, and like they had like it was a team of people who had been put together from various realities, and they were all trying to like solve the multiple universe.
Yeah, they did it way better. They did exactly
worked.
what Section 31
Yes.
was supposed to be, a million
That
times better. It was
100%.
and in less time, frankly, in less time.
Oh,
Real disappointing. Also, I would like to know why. I mean, I'm assuming it's an Alex Kurtzman thing because he's one of the executive producers on this. But What is up with Rachel Garrett? Who cares about Rachel Garrett?
A showrunner on Star Trek who has a heart on because that's
One
so
of them.
appropriate. I apologize. I apologize
But
for
that's
that.
literally
That,
what it
but
is.
that was apparently what I think inside my heart. Because because like Rachel Garrett was an interesting enough character. She was captain of the Enterprise C, but like she wasn't the main character of that TNG episode. Tasha Yar was the main
She
character.
was like a fourth,
That was
she was a third tier side character.
I remembered Castillo more than I remembered her. And then Miles
Yeah.
was like, no, she's the red lady. And I was like, what are you even talking about?
Because whoever is in charge of it is so freaking freaked out. I put it right on the screen right there. There's the Rachel Garrett statue. This is from Star Trek Picard. Don't worry about it, Letitia. It doesn't matter. But they
I'm just
make
like worried an object is about to fly.
but they make this giant statue, giant red statue of Rachel Garrett for dedication because she's some great person. But I'm like, she was on a ship during the war. What did she even do? She was a captain of the Enterprise. To be captain of the Enterprise, you have to be a pretty impressive person, I guess. So
Well, and
there
she
is
went to
that.
try, she did go to save the Klingons. Like she made the choice to go to save the Klingons, which was going to destroy her ship. But that's like one of
She
the things that
died.
made the war end.
No, but she didn't
No,
do that. But
well, here's the
she
thing
never
though.
did it.
She made the choice though to go do it. So it was her brave captain choice to risk every single person on the ship and make it so they all would get murdered trying to save the Klingons. And then a time travel shenanigan happened, and then she ended up accidentally making an alternative universe, as you do. And then, of course, she accidentally got murdered by the Klingons in the future, or I guess the future alternative universe. So then, of course, Tasha Yar had to go replace her, but it was always her idea.
Okay. That's what I'm going to say to that. Okay. But also, who cares about Rachel Garrett? Oh my God. Well, like, it makes me so mad because I'm like, because I know, because like, I'm trying to, like, who cares about
Why?
this boring little girl?
Here's the thing.
Sorry.
This film was supposed to make you care. This film was supposed to get us to care about how she does not like chaos. She likes order, but her journey was that she came to understand that she has to love chaos.
No,
And
they're in a
she
friends with
Starfleet.
benefits kind of situation. She's friends with benefits with chaos, guys.
My God, she's just Starfleet. I'm Starfleet, but like, first of all, that wig that she was wearing, I would love to have it.
Yeah, it's good.
Because yeah, costume department,
yes.
and makeup,
It's a great. It's a beautiful movie. It's a beautiful
was
movie.
on
Yes,
Gorgeous.
but
great, but like she was just like this dud of a character, and I was like, part of storytelling is you got to get people to care about at least one of the characters. Either you're gonna intensely hate them or like really like them. When everyone is not even milk toast, it's just like, what? Why are we here? Why should I care about you?
well, also again, it seems to me that the people who are making this story fundamentally did not understand what Section 31 is as an organization. They don't
Yeah.
even know because like every character should have been exactly like Rachel Garrett. If you look, if you watch every other instance of Section 31, they're all Starfleet officers. And they're
The only one,
Starfleet.
the only
They're more
one that can
Starfleet
play
than
with
any
your
Starfleet.
fabric should be Philippa Georgiou. She is the one
Yes.
that's different.
She's the
Not
chaos
everybody.
agent. Well, they're all kind of like these button up. "Oh, we are about the mission, blah blah."
But this is the thing that I want to. I'm going to repeat this several times. I think when we talk about this, don't don't give me a Star Trek reference that does not deepen or explore or make that old story better. Don't fuck up the old story by telling me a new one about the character.
Yes.
So like, gonna show me a Sharon, make me want to go see that silly episode in TOS where they're fighting each other about racism. Like make me want to revisit the old episodes. This
Exactly.
literally didn't even even reference or comment on like it didn't make us want to go back to CTNG at all. And I'm
No.
like, what's the point of having a Rachel character if you're not going to make us want to go back and see? Oh, now I see how she got into that situation. And it's partially because of what happened with Giorgio, but that's not what happened. Oh yeah, who's this guy?
Oh, this is
Some dude.
Zeph. Who cares?
Zeph? Was he
Zeph.
in the movie?
Yeah, he was the
Yeah.
mech guy. He doesn't matter. He does not matter.
Mech guys in Star Trek. I didn't know Star Trek had mech guys. That's
They
fine.
don't.
They don't. Star Trek
That's
doesn't have mech guys. Also, he has some sort of mental illness that makes him think that he and the mech suit are one. Which is
yes.
yet again,
Ableism
what
in
are
there.
yeah, and yet again, what are you doing? That's not what Section 31 is. Section 31 isn't the place where they put the cast outs and the ones that don't matter. They literally put the most important and the smartest people that they can in Section 31. Section 31 made the virus that messed up the changelings.
They're supposed to be spies. Do you think he makes a good spy? Does he?
No,
It,
because he's an idiot.
they're all
He's
very
an idiot
bad.
in a mech suit. You stand out. Like, what is wrong with you? That and
And
even just I was like, is this
they're like, no,
super
guys,
secret or
that's
whatever?
his thing. That's his thing. Him being an idiot in a mech suit is his thing. So that's why it works. Because it's his thing. But they never
He's
explained to
weird.
us how it even works, ever. Because it was never successful. Like, they never did anything. They were never successfully, like, he never, because they never actually successfully completed a mission. I want to be really clear. They did not successfully complete their mission to steal the godsend. They lost.
Bad. They're bad at this. I'm looking at how the characters are described. So, like, Omari Hardwick as a Locke is a strategic mastermind with a lot of mental issues. And let's see, Quasi is disinterested in the delusion of utopia. So that's he's the chameleoid. Um, yeah, I gotta say, I like Amari Hardwick. He's very handsome.
He is.
Did you clock all of his mental issues? You know, like he was supposed to have a really messed
Guys,
up past.
he was tortured
Yeah,
a long time ago and made to be a soldier
yeah.
Tortured black
by an
And
augment.
by an augment. Oh right, yeah, it was by an
During the
augment.
eugenics wars, because that's a
Eugenics
Star Trek
wars.
thing, guy. And then during the eugenics wars in the 20th century, which is not when the eugenics wars happened,
Not when
people.
it happens.
Oh, no, no, the time war happened, and it messed it all up, Maya.
But
You
they
can't
should
blame
have said
Star
that.
Trek.
They should have said that, is the thing. He said, I'm from
You
the
don't like
20th
the
century
gravity of
during
the
the
That's what he said. It came out his mouth. I'm from the 20th
20th
century.
century during the eugenics wars, and the eugenics wars happens in the 21st century.
You're
Because
right.
time keeps changing, and according to the most recent Star Trek, it happens in the 21st century. Somewhere
More
in
accurate,
Canada,
that's what the
apparently.
world tells us.
In
Yeah.
Toronto.
The good news is the wrong black man that was damaged and now wears weird clothes that signal armor, but not.
Ooh, are you sure it
Only
does?
half of his body is protected.
Oh, right now I have a picture of Fuzz.
Fuzz.
Oh,
Fuzz.
God.
So
Fuzz.
this is Fuzz was a really bad
Why?
character. It was very
Why?
obvious, very, very obvious that he
Why
was.
the bad guy?
Yeah, he's like, hey guys, I'm gonna betray you. Nice to meet you. Now here's the thing. This is what would have been cool. What if he had actually acted like a Vulcan for most of it? For most of
Uh-huh.
it. And then all of a sudden he's like, ha ha! I'm actually this little tiny guy, and this is a Doctor Who suit. I mean,
Like a reveal in the middle of the film that gave the character like an arc.
yeah, instead
Oh
of
my
him just
God,
being like,
the
I'm
reveal
like a
reveal.
Vulcan, but I'm emotional. He gets so emotional, baby.
That, again, like, none of the characters changed over time. Like Fuzz was described to us in the first 15 minutes of the film, and then that's who he was for
He was
the
the bad
entire
guy.
film.
Yeah.
Is that true? Homeboy and Giorgio at the end They be holding hands and touching foreheads together.
That made me sick.
Now,
So
like mother
so
like daughter,
unearned. So unearned.
like mother like daughter need a black man by your side.
Mm.
Okay.
But yeah, no, he's. I
It
thought
did
maybe
look like
he.
what in the Lucky Charms is this character?
Yes.
And again, the weird there's a lot of stuff that happens with like these accents and things. That's why I thought I was like, what in the Russian trope is this with the other chick? And then this is like the worst Irish accent.
I think that might be
Why?
his act. That might be just what he sounds like. Well,
I
maybe
think
I
it
don't
was
know.
exaggerated. I think
right,
it
his
had to have
actual
been.
no. His name is Sven. That cannot be his real accent. His name is Sven. Have you ever met an Irish man named Sven?
Lots of
I
No.
there's lots of different people that live in Ireland. It's a pretty good sized country.
okay,
Um.
But
So
like I
here's
just
a
okay.
here's another character that doesn't matter. That his name is Data No. Who cares?
Data, no. Why did
He's
he have a
from
data?
Data No is from the Terran Empire, and he decided that he was gonna steal the godsend and then sell it in the Prime universe, and then go back to the Terran Empire with a bunch of money. But that did not work out. That did not work out at all. And then they stole the device with phase devices, and then they got in, and then she got into a big dramatic fight, and they were like, ooh, we're sexy. This picture that I am showing right now is one of the press photos. This one,
Oh
oh wait,
my.
sorry, and this one, this
that
blur
is
blur,
pretty
she's fighting,
blurry.
she's
But the listen, this is what I have a problem with. Okay, the show Yo is one of the best fighters on the planet when it comes to movies. This
mm-hmm.
is her bread and butter, and I really do not like when kind of like Westerners of sorts take the wuxia style and then they
Yes.
water it down because it is such a very distinct and unique Chinese film art form that she does so well. And then we get this crap and a little bit of Mortal Kombat, get over here with the sleeves, right? And the camera was keeping up with her, but not in a way that made the fight scene make sense. Because you
Yes.
didn't have the experts in there. If you're going to be doing these things where she's jumping, she's flying on the cables and whatnot, that requires an expertise that like where are the people and why would you when she's literally do you see her doing a split in this that should be crystal clear in the press, right? Because
Yes.
that's who the focus is. Like, I just feel like they keep doing this woman so dirty with the
Yeah.
Yeah. You think the editor did
and
some
just kind of washing her away and trying to put her on the sidelines when this movie is supposed to be mainly about her.
It's her movie.
It's
It's a
her.
It was her movie, and they made her movie into a weird ensemble movie with a bunch of other characters that we don't care or know. Um,
So
Just
say a
and then
couple
she
of
gets
things.
her foot stuck in the wall. What? That would
So
never happen to Giorgio.
so y'all,
she'd break her leg off.
I don't know if you understood that most Deltans take an oath of celibacy. The Deltan we met in the first 20 minutes of this movie, who didn't make it to the next 30 minutes, she was using her irresistible magnetism to the division's benefit.
But again, they didn't
Correct.
discuss why anyone was there. Not because and it doesn't make any sense. Is this the what you were talking about with armor that's not really armor?
It's
It's
not
very
really.
it's very TNG though, isn't it? Look like very
It's like
TNG.
it
Like
was very slick, and I get it because it contours his body great. You've got the one nipple action happening, but no nipple because we learned our lesson from Batman.
mm.
Um, so he's looking good, okay, but it still gives off Starfleet.
Yes, yes.
I was disappointed at his lack of Starfleetness.
But he doesn't. Yeah, he's
he's
not.
not Starfleet though. Like
He's
all of
supposed to be.
none of the characters are Starfleet except for Rachel.
And that
Every
doesn't make any
It's
sense.
not
Doesn't make any
Starfleet.
sense.
Is oh shoot! All right, I have somebody coming to my door, so I'm gonna have to like be rude and leave.
Mhm.
Um, we should also know that Jeremy Lee was Control and was a cybernetically enhanced director. She was
Yeah,
cybernetic.
that doesn't make sense either because Section 31 had made a decision that they weren't going to have robots and artificial intelligences
Like
running
a weird,
their stuff ever again.
right? That's out of character. She looked like a weird Borg kind of
Mhm. I do
person.
I did like this the oops oopsie, that wasn't supposed I accidentally made it do
Oh, yeah.
something. Oh, but yes, I mean she did her best. And I really feel like everyone did their best. It's like we've got this. It felt like a weird uh it felt like somebody had been sort of told what Star Trek is about. And then they were like, I'm going to make that now. And oh, we just got it. Okay.
Grant is watching, I think.
Yes, Grant sent me a text message. Hi, Grant. And he
Hi,
says,
Grant.
they say to me, it makes no sense that any of them weren't Section 1. Section 31, none of it makes sense. I assumed that they were all Section 31, but then it's like, are they not Section 31? Here's the thing. Section 31 would hire a bunch of cuckoo banana people to complete a task and then immediately execute all of them.
A hundred
That
percent.
is something.
Yeah.
And that would have been the coolest end ever.
Right.
that would
Or
have been
intentionally
horrific.
sending
Imagine
you
we
on
got
to
through the
make-
entire movie and and even with the sand and the
Because they
sadness,
saved the universe.
they
They
save the
saved
universe
lives.
and then she's given an order. She is given an order as a member of Section 31 to execute them. They're not members of Section 31. It's for the good of the
Yeah,
the
Jamie Lee
Federation.
Curtis is like, none of these people are good and they're not good. Oh, that's messed
Except
up.
for Rachel
brilliant.
Garrett. Except for Rachel Garrett, and Rachel Garrett just has to be okay with it. And she has to live with that. She has to live with being friends with them, having that last little hurrah, and then them all being gone except for Giorgio. And Giorgio is just like, this is the mission. We are
Right.
here to protect the mission. And that's why at the end, ooh, I'm tying it up. And then that's why at the very end of the episode with Rachel Garrett when she dies, she is like
Oh shit!
she
You're
is
right.
like complete the mission.
Oh shit, Maya! Why don't they talk to us before?
I
they
just
make
I
the
just
show?
I just
Yeah,
made
she
this
just
entire
fixed
thing
it.
make sense.
She
But-
just fixed it. She just fixed Section 31. Here's the
Fixed
thing,
it.
Maya Mama. You just fixed Section 31 by changing the last scene. That's
Yeah.
all you had to do. It's a shitty movie, but you changed the last scene and suddenly you were like, oh shit, this is brilliant.
Right.
Because that's Rachel
Oh,
Garrett needed to
wow.
be, because I think it would have been cool to teach Rachel Garrett a lesson. Because the lesson of her being chaotic was not the lesson that she needed to learn. The lesson that she needed to learn is that sometimes sometimes people should not survive for the good of the mission, for the good of the Federation.
I don't know if it's some people should not survive. It's
Some
just that
people won't, because I say so.
sometimes you do a mission and nobody survives because that's what was necessary to make the mission happen.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Oh wow.
Yeah, like what if
Maya,
Quasi is what if Quasi is actually a really bad guy? He's actually a really bad guy and shouldn't have survived. The same with like all of the other characters. Maybe the only actual good person out of all of them is Rachel Garrett, and that she did hire a bunch of like bad people to
And
to
then
do
that
this
would make
Section
Rachel-
31
that
thing.
would make Rachel like the wall.
But also, Philippa Giorgio is a member of Section 31. What if she was always a member of Section 31 and she was never not one? And she had to hang out on that station for a little while. But
Like what if she had been like the Amanda Waller of like, because that would have been interesting if Rachel Garrett was the Amanda Waller of Section 31.
yeah, if she had been like, aha, thanks, you've done my thing, or oh, you mean like Suicide Squad?
This is exactly what I'm saying. Exactly like Suicide Squad. Like in many ways, this feels like it was trying to rip off and reference Suicide Squad anyway, and they should have just gone for it. They
Section
should have just
Section 31 would 100 and a million% do a Suicide Squad.
and
Um,
like, oh, wait,
And
I
I
have even
don't
better
think it's
ending though.
about good or bad people. I don't think Section 31 has those clear moral lines or
it's not
whatever.
about that. It's about
It's just
maintaining.
who is usable and expendable for the mission.
I
Mm-hmm.
have a I have a better suggestion for the end though. So Georgiou is ordered by Jamie Lee Curtis to murderize everybody, or maybe she's ordered by Rachel Garrett to murderize everybody. I'm not. I actually think it would be better if it's so. Jamie Lee Curtis is like, I now need you to murderize everybody, and instead she tricks Section 31 into thinking she did. So they all get to live.
No, I hate it.
Wait, no, I'm not done. Rachel Garrett believes that they all got murdered, and that was what was necessary. So Rachel Garrett leaves with this lesson of people have to die. But then they're just back there on the ship
Nope.
having shenanigans with that guy, that black and white guy. He's giving them all drinks. They're like,
Hate it. I hate it.
Starfleet.
This is a
No.
Section 31 movie. It should have been dark. And there
Yeah.
was very little darkness. There was some brief mentions of darkness. They were like, one time, a long time ago, there was some dark. It exists as a part of me, but it's not here right now. And I just even San, here we have San. Her childhood love, who is really not her childhood love. He's like her camp boyfriend. Let's be real.
Yes,
San,
oh my God,
her camp
yeah.
boyfriend of
He's
like
trauma bonded.
that. Yeah, that like. So she. What did something happen?
Oh, my live got restricted.
I
have
think
no
it's
idea.
because
Oh, wait a
we.
minute.
It's because maybe we said Suicide Squad.
Oh, that's totally
I just
why.
realized
That's
that.
totally
Yeah.
why. Oh man, that's so annoying when artificial intelligence is like listening to everything you say, but it doesn't have context. So it's like, oh, you're talking about the bad things, so I have to keep you away from the people.
That makes no
That's
sense. It makes no sense. But San, the camp boyfriend, I find his entire character creation to be insulting to me
That one
as a
time at
woman.
that camp,
As a woman, I feel insulted because his only purpose, like I knew from the get that he was gonna show up and die, and that
Yep.
would matter,
but I
and
don't
that would
understand why.
change her, but she's
Like,
already
why?
been changed by being a mother. Motherhood is what changed her. Motherhood is what made her want to be a better person when she was truly experienced to that. Yeah.
Not heterosexual partnering or loyalty.
No,
Hell
because
yeah.
she was never interested in that. She was the emperor. Those are petty, tiny things. Romantic relationships. She was very aromantic and hypersexual.
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
But it's like this guy being like, oh, and then his sole goal in life is to hurt her. It's like, wait,
Why?
you've
It
got
doesn't.
some weird stalker boyfriendy vibes from
So
something from middle school, high school.
Right?
Oh,
My
can
camp
you get over it?
I dumped
I
my
wanna-
camp boyfriend and 40 years later he wants to destroy the entire federation.
But let me understand exactly what's happening here because I'm not sure if I fully understand the plot. So Sans in the mirror universe, but Fuzz is in the mirror universe too. And
Who?
like Fuzz,
No.
Fuzz. Oh,
No.
Fuzz. Oh,
No.
okay. So Sans in the mirror universe, and Sans like, okay, I'm gonna fake my own death so I can sneak off to an alternative universe and try and like ruin your life, Philippa George. How did San end up in the
San
Faked
faked
his
his
death.
own death,
Yeah.
stole or wait, no, he faked his own death to hide out because he was done with being her slave. He
Okay.
and then Data No
No.
stole the weapon and went off.
He
It's only
was the-
been
He he was from the Mirror Universe. Dad and No was from the Mirror
Yes,
Universe.
Dada
Oh,
No took it back, and then San tried to steal it from Dada No. It would have been way easier if he had just purchased it again, but whatever.
okay.
Um, or even fake purchased it and betrayed him. He's a
Mirror
Terran,
Universe man. Doesn't
but
like
uh, and then he was gonna take the device and then like destroy the Alpha Quadrant
right and like
and become
him
Emperor.
destroying so wait wait a second. So was he going to take the device and use it to destroy the quadrant in the Prime universe?
Yes.
But
Yes.
rule with righteous mercy. In contrast to Giorgio's cruel dictatorship, he was going to
Yeah.
rule with righteous mercy all of the other quadrants that he hadn't murdered.
Yeah.
Yes. He's a benevolent,
Yeah.
benevolent
Dictator.
elephant
Genocider.
Yeah.
Genocider.
Yeah.
Like he's like,
Doing it for the good of the
Uh-huh.
revenge of a woman. Like that's, you know, you gotta hurt
It
her.
makes no sense.
That's justified. It's all justified.
Grant-
hurt his feelings.
Grant would like to know what Star Trek fans did to deserve this.
It's like watching department store mannequin in a stop motion video made by the company owners for an office party. Grant.
I'm like, look at this. So we have this little round MacGuffin. I mean,
it's so small.
It's so pretty. It's small.
mhm.
It's like a miniature Death Star. Is what
He made it. He made it just for her because he's like, I love you so much. I made you this death device. And then she was like, just, and then he's like, I made you this little death device, and I'm gonna pretend like I died.
And then she's like, I'm so like emotionally distraught about this. I'm gonna take the death device and put it away someplace.
No, she ordered it destroyed. She is because she got so emotional, baby.
She got so
Emotional, baby. Every time she thought of this sad.
So she's like, "Oh, San, I betrayed you when I was a child, and I thought you, and now you killed yourself, and like
the same way my parents died. Like that would matter to me. Like that would matter."
It's like it doesn't make any sense. And isn't it like an abusive, toxic man to feign to like come back and be like, I'm gonna do something to you.
So in the end, she's so Giorgio and San are fighting for the device, and then like there's a knife fight, and then she blocks him, and he accidentally stabs himself.
No, that's not true.
No.
He is taking that knife and it is going right into her cheek. And she does this move that she knows that deflects the blade and it hits him right in the neck.
Yeah.
So she did it. She did it. She knew. So while that knife is going into her, she knew how to get out of that.
Okay.
That's why it's sad, because she was trying to get him to stop, because she could very easily escape, because she is who she is. And then they all get together, and I like that wig. I do like that wig that Rachel Garrett has.
So Alick and Giorgio, they're gonna fly Sand ship through the wormhole because the godsend is about to like explode.
They're gonna destroy the wormhole.
It's only going to destroy the wormhole, not anything on either side.
Correct.
That is so convenient.
It is. Yeah.
Right. They touch heads and they hold hands because magically in this time period, I guess they're attracted to each other.
They're like, I kind of like you.
And I really like how you got stabbed in the face and then like you deflected it and killed that guy. That was so hot.
I know how sad you are because you were literally sobbing over his corpse. But do you want to hold my hand?
Yeah. I do like that wig. Rachel Garrett looks fabulous in a white blue wig, but again, I'm like,
why are you wearing a wig?
And that outfit is terrible.
But also, maybe she's a wig girl, and if that's just who Rachel Garrett is when she's off duty, if Rachel Garrett is an off duty wig girl, then
I will say this for
I support that.
They always make sure it's the same haircut as she had for her entire life. She had the exact same haircut. Maybe it's a different color.
Wow.
She's got that bob.
It's a
Like
very short. It's a very short to business kind of
Military, it's
hairstyle.
the military bob, like, because the star. I wish we need to do like the makeup choices of Starfleet. Like she's got the very, Starfleety makeup, and now she's like an off duty. I like a winged eyeliner.
I like blue
Like,
makeup and blue hair.
hmm and spice it up, but she's still Rachel. You know,
Hmm.
but look at Giorgio. That
Sorry,
dress.
this dress that she wore in that last scene, I was like, is that your own dress? I wonder if that's her own dress. Because you know how in
The glitter.
Crazy Rich Asians, she used her own ring?
Yeah.
wait,
Because they needed like a big, beautiful jade piece of jade. And she has this giant, oh no, not jade. It was an emerald, maybe an emerald ring. But
this
it was
up because the
But it
costume
was giant, and she has her own, and so she just wore it for the thing, for
Her
the
eye
movie.
makeup too. They did like
agreed.
these like lines
Hmm.
and jewels on her eyes.
Why
The
is her hair blue?
cat eye kind of stuff was great, but this dress, again, the costume department, you did that.
Yes,
You
yes.
did that with her outfits. Were always on point, in line with the character. Even like the little details where they did like the cat eye, kind of the open cat eye thing.
Oh, I love
Every
that. I love that. I loved how that looked. It was beautiful.
It was gorgeous. Like just everything, her makeup, the jewelry, the hair was perfect on her. And I really love it when you see people love an actress like that because you can see the care that they took with her. And
Yes.
even when she's like literally about to destroy the clothes because she's gonna fight the crap out of their
Y'all,
outfit.
her outfits are Balenciaga.
Of course they are. Of course they are. Of course they
Balenciaga,
are.
because only Michelle Yeoh could make Balenciaga design for Star Trek. Are you
Right.
kidding me?
That
This
is
is why she
amazing.
looks so good. Oh my
It's
god.
so
So this movie was produced by executive produced. One of the executive producers is Alex Kurtzman. Here's Alex Kurtzman on an episode of Lower Decks. That is him in cartoon form on the episode.
Oh, that's fun.
Um, and directed by Olatunde Osunsami. So I have some
gorgeous.
images of him being a
Love his
director. Look at him.
eye.
He's like, I'm pointing
That
at
open
stuff.
eye.
I'm
Oh,
on set. Here's another one where he's like, I'm talking to an actor. This is him and hold on, Sam Richardson. Sam Richardson having a great conversation. Probably being like, that is a great jacket. I love the purple shirt. I hope you steal this outfit. And he was like, yeah, bro, it's already it's already in my car
I
as we
like that
speak.
outfit. That I would want to see my brothers
Yeah,
wear that. I would wear that.
I will say that all of the black men dressed like very well dressed black men, and I
Yeah.
liked that because that's just a thing I like in general.
Everybody
I
looks
didn't
good
see
and
his
hot
shoes.
and cute, but that's actually kind of a problem. Like when everybody has a cool outfit, there's something wrong with the movie.
Here's the
Every
thing,
single character can have the coolest outfit ever.
in a heist movie, sorry, in a heist movie, everyone's supposed to look normo, and then you get one scene where everyone looks so good
I am
that you're
now
like,
looking
what?
at the
It's
bada
Ocean's
bing,
11,
bada
right? When they
bang.
do that
Yeah.
scene and they're button
And
up
they're
and
everyone's
doing the slow walk.
slinky
So
dresses and
if you
tuxedos.
if you visit our I'm letting our audience know in Twitch if or in TikTok, if they go to the Twitch, I've just dropped the memory alpha link to the Bada Bing Bada Bang episode where they all do a heist inside and they all wear suits. You're completely right.
Yeah, it's just here's the thing. I love a well put together heist. This was not a well put together heist. I will say again, they failed. The
Agreed.
heist
Agreed.
was a complete failure, and Philippa Giorgio completely failed in her heistum.
And then
San got
escaped.
the yeah. Like San got the weapon. Like he won. That was like kind of the
But no,
thing.
but
It was
it's
all catch
supposed
up.
to be. It's supposed to be. Oh, they lost the heist, but then they have to do more heist to get it. Like that's how it's supposed to. It's supposed to
That's
feel
not
like oh,
but that's not how it felt at all.
Didn't feel like that at all. It was just like, really?
It felt
And then
like they
it got
failed
so
and they
weird.
kept trying to catch up with themselves, and even at the very, very end, they still failed because the weapon still went off and
yeah,
Sand
they're not
died,
doing good.
and so did Fuzz, but that was a good thing. But like
And
at
like Buzz's character is also just weird and unnecessary.
and then
Why
why
is
did
he
his wife
a
show up at the
robot?
end? His wife shows up at the end.
You
The
have these,
funniest note.
like, no, he ain't shit, and I gotta find him. That's not the reason why you sign up for a job. What?
Because of a man.
Actor.
And
He,
also it's funny because I'm in a masculine body, guys. See how I'm in a masculine body, but I'm actually his wife.
yeah. Also, like,
It's
if
not
I was
funny.
his wife, why would I be in the same body? Like, why would I? Why would I want to do that? Why would I want a robot that looked like the man who betrayed me? That's weird.
Oh, Grant would like to know how the device collapsed the portal. Shh.
MacGuffins.
Energy,
Hey, so
transfer,
you've seen
polarity,
different Star Treks before, right? In where
science.
they can throw torpedoes into wormholes and things like that, and then
Yeah.
it will collapse the
Like
wormhole.
that's what
Like,
everybody knows. Like everybody knows that if you have like an opening, you just throw a bomb in there and it collapses it, and then it's not even a problem anymore.
yeah,
Like everybody knows.
energy.
But
It's
that's
like
not how it works in science fiction shows. Usually, what happens is that you have to go inside of it, explode it, and that's what closes it. So that's what I thought was going to happen.
that's
That's
what
what
I
And
I
thought.
thought was
I
going to
thought
happen.
that's what the
Okay.
goal was. Is that, but they didn't actually make it really
Well,
inside. They were on
I
their
think
way. I
I
don't
It
think
was
know.
just
they
a tip. It was
they
just
didn't
a tip.
they didn't want to end the film with a we've murdered the Giorgio character and we can never have her back. They could have like let her like go in, do like a gorgeous sacrifice and stuff that we feel sad and bad about. That
I
would have
didn't
been
want
awesome.
her to die. I like that they saved her. I think it's fine that they saved her, but I kind of wish that when they saved her, that was the end of the movie. And that I
Right.
hadn't gotten any additional story because you know
Like
what?
another scene
Because
where
you
they're
know,
like,
yeah,
we're
but
gonna
where
be a
she's happy
spin-off
again.
show.
Because you know what?
Spin-off
Um,
show where we have
that
adventures.
that was supposed to be a really horrible experience for her. Her the only man that she has ever loved, like truly, completely loved. We are two and one, you know, just died by her hand, and she didn't want to do it. She's really cool about like other people, about sending
Yeah.
people off to the space koala, but she did not want to do that to him. And so
That's
that so at the end of that, when she's ready to like just explode with the device that she created and then lives, that should have been like one of those things where you sigh because you made it and you have to live because you don't get a choice,
yeah.
because
But
she still
instead it
has
was
to,
just
because
like
she still has a mission, because she still has a mission, and it's about the mission.
But don't you know she got a man to replace him?
What's her man got to do with 31?
That's what
What's
I'm
in
saying.
gotta do with
Why
Section
are you having
31?
a relationship
Also,
after?
what is up with Control still be like they're still doing they're like, oh no
Oh,
no
we
no
were
no.
just saying that, yeah.
Like the last time we had a computer that was inside Stashwick. I am obsessed with Tom Stashwick now.
But it's not Tom
Because did you
Stashwick that had
know?
the thing, and it was a different guy.
Was it? No, it wasn't.
Because
Oh, it was
that,
a different guy.
yeah,
You're
because
right.
Stashwick is from
Oh, I
Picard,
am
and
so
then the other
racist. I
guy
am so racist. That was
is a
fully
different
me.
white guy. Different
Like
white guy.
white actor with brown hair. Same. Oh,
Facial hair? A little bit.
yeah.
It happens all the
I'm
time.
embarrassed
It's
about
fine.
myself. Yeah, but like that guy got the control inside him, and that was bad. But like, it's totally awesome that Jamie Lee Curtis has the control inside her.
I'm
Did
very
nothing
confused. This
Star
is
Trek Discovery matter? Did any of that matter? Oh my gosh.
this movie takes place in the year 2257. Let me see if I can find out my information on 2257. Because I always like to tell you what happened in 2257. In 2257, uh, we are ending the war, and Discovery is leaving. They've left.
Yeah.
Here's the funny thing, and this is actually a little upsetting. This is almost exactly after
Yes.
she was sent back, almost to the exact moment that she left. And that's not what I was expecting. I thought and this movie made it seem like she had joined Section 31, didn't like it, and then quit. But this is literally the exact same year
Wow.
as sorry, season 1 of Strange New Worlds, sort of, or season, or just pre season 1 of Strange New Worlds. It's around that time.
I have one more comment.
Mm-mm-mm. Go.
Ash Tyler. If this is taking place in
Where's
the same
Ash Tyler?
Weird.
Ash Tyler's supposed to be working in Section 31 and knows Philippa and has worked well with her before. What the hell? Where's
And
Ash
why would they
Tyler?
make it seem like she disappeared? We didn't know where she was. And Bob was like, but she's time traveling. That's where she is. That's why you don't know. You should know this because you're Section 31. You're her Section 31. And you should already know this information.
Not only that, but Carl, the Guardian of Forever, would not send her to some place where she didn't have anything to do. He told her he was sending her back because there was more for her to do. So why did she decide to just like not do that and become a bartender? That doesn't make sense either. Like saying that Philippa Giorgio lost her focus is incredibly insulting. And it is even more insulting to say that she only got her focus back because a man found her.
Agreed.
And
So,
I don't
all right. So, what are our final thoughts on this film? Because, like, I liked so many things in it, but also I don't think it's good enough for me to watch again.
it
Like,
is
I tried to
not.
watch it again, and I couldn't finish
I
it.
also could not watch it again. I tried as well. I couldn't do it because it made me sad. It is neither Star Trek nor Section 31. Discuss. That's an old joke from Saturday Night, like the 90s Saturday Night Live.
Yes.
Um, just so that other people know. But like when they say it's that neither this nor that, discuss. But Section 31, Star Trek Section 31 is neither Star Trek nor Section 31. And that I found to be incredibly disappointing because we watched an entire like child's cartoon with a robot in it, which is very anti Roddenberry because Roddenberry doesn't like it. And it was one of the most Star Trek things that I've ever seen in my life. Prodigy. Like,
Love
Prodigy
Prodigy.
is almost the most Star Trek of Star Treks, whereas Section 31 is the least. I would like to do, now that this movie has come out, I would very much like to do a Star Trek movie rank again. And this is probably going to get a 10.
Oh, nice.
And that means, and a 10 means
Yeah.
actually at the bottom.
But yeah,
It,
I was like, this is
it
worse than when Kirk met Spock's
Space God.
brother, and then they like chased God.
Yeah, it's
It's worse
worse
than
than
that.
that.
It's worse.
Like it didn't have any like super sexy fan dances. This was missing a lot.
There is no weird like space supernaturalness at all, which I always love, where there's some space magic where they're like
Yeah.
science can be so advanced.
I still just can't get over her getting her foot stuck in the wall. Like
Where
That
she
is so
tripped and fell and her boot is stuck in the wall, and I was like, that's Michael Burnham garbage. Michael Burnham would do that.
To be funny. It's supposed to be like,
No.
oh, it's like, oh, that this is the lighthearted fun hijinks of the genocidal leader and the like CIA, spy organization, and like, yeah, there's genocide, there's murder, but it's hijinks, y'all.
She's
It's
supposed
hijinks.
to be very, very good at her job. And because of that, she should not have failed in the initial mission of getting that device. She shouldn't have even failed at it because she's Philippa Giorgio and she actually doesn't get things wrong. She doesn't get things wrong almost ever. And when she does, she immediately pivots and fixes it. Like when she capture when she, right before when she had to leave the Terran universe and all of because of the rebellion, like as soon as she realized that there was a rebellion on hand, boom, pivot. Boom, pivot again, boom, pivot all the way out of the universe. But she always seems to have a contingency plan because she's a
Yeah,
very smart, capable human person. And this movie did not make her any of those things.
no, did
agreed.
It
not.
made her sentimental.
It made her like weird because she actually is sentimental, especially when it comes to Burnham, but not in a way that would compromise herself.
Not for
In,
a
in
boy.
not
Not
for
for
a
a camp
boy,
boyfriend. Camp
not for
boyfriend?
If
any
you
man.
haven't seen for 20 plus years, come on.
Not only that, but like, he ended himself in a really awful way. I don't think it makes sense. I don't even think it makes sense that she would have kept him alive.
I don't think so either because, like, again, when we saw, I know that we have to, I feel like I'm repeating
We
myself.
we probably are.
Because when we saw the Discovery episode where she was in the mirror universe, she grows to be the kind of person who keeps one person close, who can like serve her. There is no son. Like again, like it bothers me because we saw her life in the mirror universe and there was no son. It was Michael Burnham, and then at the very very end we had that Kelpian, and like that was it.
That was Saru.
Yeah, I know exactly.
She had
Like he had
Saru and she had Michael
her two
Burnham,
babies.
and and
Yeah.
and and Sam was a regret. He was
Yes.
just a regret. He was a regret that she fixed.
Mm.
Like she had felt this enormous weight on her because of the betrayal that she made to this camp boyfriend. She was like, I love this guy, but I really 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 love being emperor, so I'm going to do that. And then to be like, well, now I'm not the emperor, and I'm going to the 22 I'm going to the 2250s. I don't have any friends there. And now this is making me sort of miss a time when I kind of did have a friend this one time, but I mean, I absolutely on purpose made a choice to end his life. And I regret that. And maybe next time I make a friend, I'm not going to do that. That's what
Well,
I was hoping for. Was that she was
yeah.
going to be like, I had this friend San and we were really close and I him and I'm not going to do that to you. And then that's
That would
it.
be a very Giorgio thing to say. Like, I like you as a friend, and I'm not gonna murk you,
Like
because I did that once, and like
it
I can't just
really
do that
messed
again.
up my head.
It mess with me a little bit, so I'm gonna keep you alive.
Yeah, that'll make. I think that will make everyone happy. I'll feel better.
You're all
You'll feel
happier.
better. And
It,
also, you're alive. And also, I don't get in trouble for killing you. I mean,
Right.
the thing is that she never did. She never really did any of those practical, funny things like, "Oh, I'm not going to end your life because it's just too impractical for me right now." I never really got any. I never. There was no empress.
No.
agreed.
There was no empress. It's like she lost her power and became tired and sad and weak.
I think that the people who made this film made it for people who didn't like Discovery, but also tried to make it for people who like Discovery. So they made something that serves no audience and is not good or interesting. Like if they had done
Yeah.
like a canon specific thing where it's like you can't enjoy this unless you know this other shit, that might have been more successful than the thing they just did, because I think they were trying to make something that would have broad appeal, and they fucked up the Star Trek trying to appeal to people with this heist movie BS.
But what is
Absolutely.
broad appeal when that is not the core of Star Trek,
Yeah,
right? Like it's
Star
one of
Trek.
those things where it's
Huh.
a polarized. People either like Star Trek or they don't, right? And you also don't cater to people who dislike. Stop doing people watching this. Stop catering to people who do not like you, who do not want to be around you. Stop trying to make yourself fit them. There's 8 billion people in the world, right? Find your niche. The niche is Star Trek. The niche was Philippa Georgiou. Those are the only fans that mattered. And
Yes.
we didn't get that because people want to like cater to people who don't care, who don't like to see a strong woman, who doesn't need a man in that kind of way to be the central theme of her life. What?
Claudia, do you remember? And you obviously you too, Letitia. Did any of you see a movie called Doctor Strange? And this is a horrible movie.
Oh,
So
the
this reminds me the multiverse of madness. But
yes.
this reminds me a lot of the exact same thing because we're what we have with us right now, what we're dealing with is someone who didn't actually read the story or actually know who the characters are. So
Yep.
they were like, I got a general outline of who Philippa Giorgio is and like some of the stuff she did, but I can't believe there was no mention of her daughter.
The one person that means she, Burnham, is her mission.
She's her mission.
Yes, Burnham
Burnham.
is
That is
her mission, and
Burnham.
that's why Section 31 should be the thing that she takes most care of because the thing that Michael Burnham loves more than any person is
Is Starfleet.
Starfleet. It's the
Ooh.
Federation, not just Starfleet, it's the Federation. And that is what she is for. And to have Philippa Giorgio be part of that would have been a really big, great, awesome thing. And again, it makes no sense to have a ragtag bunch of weirdos. That's not Section 31. Section 31 are super smart people that pass all the smart tests and do all the smart work. Because even that ship on Boimler's duplicate was on, he was the Section 31 person. The rest of them were not Section 31. He was the Section 31 person. And guess what? He was Starfleet a million percent.
And that allowed everyone to be wacky, and it made
Yes.
sense that they were wacky because they were from alternate universes. Why are these people wacky? Just because.
just because there's no reason for it. And it's just, this is what I dislike about a lot of storytelling, one around female characters, um, women characters, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
What I don't like, again, is that I waited so long for this, right? And with all the stuff that's going on, I was like, yes, Star Trek Joy, get my Giorgio because I missed
Yes.
her,
Yes.
and then you give me what?
You know
What?
what? It's like getting an oatmeal. It's like getting an oatmeal cookie and then getting the one thing that you didn't want in the oatmeal cookie. I like raisins. So I'm
I
happy to get
I
that.
don't want
But
any
other people,
chocolate
and
chip.
I don't want chocolate chip
I'm mad at
cookies,
the
but
chocolate
other
chip.
people want chocolate chip cookies.
Yep.
It's like
Yep.
that. You get your cookie, you take a bite, and you're like, oh no, this is garbage to me. This is
I want the
not.
chocolate chip cookie without the chocolate chips.
But also, I'm going to
Ooh,
say
those are good actually. You can,
there's
yeah.
three things I think that impacted this project. One was the writer's strike. That definitely happened, right? And I
Yeah.
think that interrupted and made shenanigans happen. And also, Michelle Yeoh's career blew the F up. Like, it was already pretty hot. But then she did everything everywhere all at once, and she was like, "Poof, poof, poof." And I think that, like, they were like, hey, girl, let's, like, make a TV show happen. Let's, like have, like, a couple seasons of you doing this character, blah, 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 blah. And then it was like, oh, you are not going to be available. Chill, chill, chill. We'll just, like, make, like, a movie or something. But then, writer's strike. So they have people who can make a story, but they can't write a script. And then time passes, and then they hire someone. This is me guessing. So I hope I'm not hurting anybody's feelings attached to this project, because I love all of them. You helped make Star Trek. Even the Star Trek I am disappointed by and irritated by, I love preciously. But I feel like they just got a guy to be like, we came up with a story. You make it into a script, and he was just like, yeah, I can totally do that. And so
Too
he did.
too much slang. Again, what's this dude's name? His name is
Grant,
Alok Shahir. So Alok is from the 20th century, which does not make sense because he should be from the 21st century. But so it would make sense if he used a lot of slang, and then occasionally people wouldn't quite understand what he was saying. Or people would say things like, oh, yes, that is saying that exists. It didn't make sense for everyone else to be talking like it was 2024 5. Can you hear the dogs barking?
a little bit, a
Oh,
little
okay.
bit.
They're just
I
very
know
excited.
it's time for them to eat. We've been talking
We
about
have.
Section 31 for about an hour and a half, but it needed the time, it needed the examination, and it needed the jokes. And I just y'all are brilliant. I love to dissect Star Trek with you.
Me too.
And
Me
this,
too.
without being able to talk about it, this would have been a bad experience. But I watched the film and then I got to do this, and so I actually really enjoyed it.
Yeah, right? It really actually helped things for me. Because I don't know how happy I would have been if I had just been left to live with this and not discuss it with anyone. If that's what this had been it, I would have been like, what?
I'm glad I didn't watch it by myself because I would have been like, what? And thank you, Grant, also for being part of this
Thank you, Grant.
because we would appreciate you. Because it's just, I don't know. There is something about, and it's not nostalgia for me, right? There is something deep that I love about Star Trek, specifically Deep Space Nine and Voyager, that resonates so much for me. And when in this time when we need the thing that Star Trek always gives, right? How to handle complex issues. What does it mean to stay true, not just to the mission, but to your values, regardless of what's happening, right? That's what we need here and now more than ever. And so it's just like, it seems like there's like a larger failure of the
Yes.
messaging that was so absent from this.
Really
Uh,
beautifully said. Really beautifully said, because that is a thing that I was thinking is that there's it's almost as if they forgot the mission.
yeah.
They forgot the mission. They need a Section 31. I'm not threatening. I didn't mean that as a threat.
I'm gonna join the Section 31 for Hollywood, where me and a clandestine group of spies go in and fix the scripts for all the films so that they're not bad.
We
I
are
like this.
very normal. We are very, very normal people who just walk and talk and type things, and they're like, hey, did you get the thing for the script? Yeah. Okay, that'll be out in a little bit. Because it's just a job. Again, Section 31 is just a group of people who, like, find a problem, fix a problem
I don't know
very
why
quickly and firmly.
like
I don't know if they fix things, but
They also
move
cause
things
some
in a direction
problems.
that is favorable to the Federation.
that part. And is that necessarily what's good for the universe? They just
No.
they had been a little
No.
deeper and written a film that really actually explored ideas around Section 31. Oh well.
Beverly
Alas,
Crusher. Beverly Crusher was a member of Section 31.
I knew it.
Beverly Crusher is one of the people that developed the virus
Yep.
the
Right.
changeling virus.
That's right.
She was part of Section 31, and that in and of itself tells you what Section 31 is Beverly Crusher, because
And
Beverly
she's the most
Crusher,
normal.
she is a normal mom, but she is also a badass. And she's a Starfleet officer through and through.
Through and through.
And that's I mean, honestly, like I would have rather watched a movie about Beverly Crusher at this point. And also I
Yeah.
love Beverly
Oh.
Crusher too.
So
She's
I
amazing.
know you rejected this idea, but this is the new idea. So she goes back in time. She's involved in the shenanigans. She's with Wesley Crusher. They're on the road. That's how she ends up. Like that's how she ends up. Like they do something with Beverly Crusher when she's in Section 31. I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna stop. You know, to a certain extent, I recognize that I like anything Star Trek, and you could just put a bunch of Star Trek words into a blender and spit stuff out, and I would like it. I like it. I like the
I
Star
mean,
Trek.
you're right. You're right. I would most likely like anything that comes out Star Trek. Like if it's like
I'm gonna
called Star
watch it.
Trek, I'm like, "Oh, that's great."
Be like,
So,
take my money. I will have to say, because we do need to return to Mr. AI CGI weird Shatner movie. I like the Shatner movie
Oh
better than
yeah.
this. But again, shout out to the director, the lighting
yes,
crew.
and
Like
thank you for
there are things,
watching this stream. I also appreciate that. We
yes,
Yeah.
appreciate your work.
costume, every makeup,
Oh my
hair,
god.
So good.
all
So
of
good.
y'all, because there's one thing that I cannot stand, and this happened in the Alex Cross show,
Uh-huh.
where the lighting just was not favorable to people with
Mm.
dark skin tones. And so this kind of there were these dark moments, but yet you could still see
Yes,
us
we
in
could
that.
see
Yes.
specifically Sam Richardson.
Yes.
Specifically, Sam Richardson was never washed or not washed. Well, I guess washed into the shadows. He was
Yeah,
not. He was like you could see him because he was lit well and dressed well,
yeah,
and that is t- to a degree an actual big deal.
it's a huge deal.
It's a
I,
huge,
I
huge deal. Yeah.
you don't see that on screen a lot, and especially in sci-fi, we don't see that a lot. And so there is something that really touched me deeply to see these expert hands. You can see the craftsmanship. And I don't know y'all's names because I didn't look at the credits, but I just want to shout all y'all out because that
Hell
beautiful,
yeah. Hell
beautiful. And
yeah.
Hell
Um,
yes.
Berkshire Phillips, well done on the costumes. Paul Kirby, good job on making all those sets look good, especially like the really weird things that were like some of those scenes. I was like, you had to be very thoughtful about how you designed that bed for this one.
yes,
And shout out to Jason Michael Zimmerman, the visual effects supervisor. She
Awesome
did
job. Awesome
awesome
job.
job.
I mean,
job.
everyone did the best they could do with what they had. And I'm not
Listen,
and I'm talking about everyone, like including the person who wrote this story, the people who wrote this story, who didn't have any information apparently, except for well, Grant says probably some Chat GTP basic character synopsis. Like
Oh,
they didn't know what else to do. They did the
here,
best
I
with
want to
what
dis
they had as well.
I feel like y'all is being a little mean actually, because I want to acknowledge that I think people had really good ideas and really good intentions that through a series of unfortunate steps kept getting compromised until we ended up with this. And it's not it's I don't think it's that the people who wrote the story didn't get stuff.
I desperately want to read that story. And
I would
not the
like to read that.
screenplay, but I want to read that story. I'm really interested in what it was supposed to be.
I want to hear what the process was. I don't like making like supposition or guessing, right? But at the end of the day, all I can say is judge on what it is that I watched. And what it is that I watched was not in line with who Philippa Giorgio actually is and what we have been given since I was a kid on what Section 31 actually is. And so it's just like, I'm going to be 42, y'all. Like, I had to wait to be an adult, and I'm here, and I just be here with me, creators and whatnot.
Yeah, be here with us. All we want is good Star Trek. And you
We
can do
love
that.
your craft.
It's not hard. You barely have to do much of anything for us to love it.
Like, honestly, you giving me a Balenciaga dress, and I'm just like, ha ha.
Ooh.
You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't. I'm a simple gal. I'm a potato, sparkly potato. Okay? I don't need much. I just want y'all to not cater to people who don't matter. I matter. We
Yes.
matter.
Yeah, we matter. The people who actually are watching this are the ones that matter, and we're the ones that you should have created this for, and not for everyone else, because no one else is watching this. No one else is watching this. We are. So maybe make it for us since we're here. Seriously disappointing. They could have done better. And maybe they will get better. But also, y'all, there's been a lot of Star Trek. We've been Star Trek rich, and when you have a bunch of things, there's always going to be one little bit that's not so great. So I'm going to say, of all of the years, from all of the years of all of the Star Trek that we have received, and I'm talking about the recent Star Treks, this one movie not being great is okay with me. Also, why is his name Virgil? Come on, man. Anyway, we're gonna cut now. His name's Virgil, the guy, the bartender friend, assistant. His name is Virgil,
It's
and I'm
not a
like,
Karen. It's not a Karenese name. What's that mean? Come on.
I'm like, Virgil? Okay. I mean, I guess so. I'm not trying to be rude or anything, but like, because your name gets to be what it is, but also, all right, I'm going to do the thing now. I'm playing the music now. And it's going to be a little louder. And I'm going to say some things. Thank you so much for joining us. Trek Talk is a Calling Up Justice production. Special thanks to executive producer Claudia Alick. For more information on executive producer Claudia Alick and Calling Up Justice, visit our link tree. That's linktree/Calling Up Justice. Also, special thanks to me, your host, Maiamama. For more information on me, check out my link tree in the chat. Special thanks to Letitia Andre Doucette of Catalyst Consulting. For more information, I will put something in the chat for her too. And also, if you want to get involved in the Calling Up Justice community, there's a little form up there, and you can click that, and you can do things with us. And that's it. Okay, I love you. Bye-bye.